Warning, we are a spoiler-based podcast. At times, we are also an offensive podcast, and we are most certainly a verbally explicit podcast. So if you fear for any of your delicate sensibilities, please back up now before you reach the point of no return. This is your final warning.
Good afternoon, good evening, good night, good morning, whenever you happen to be listening to us, and welcome to another edition of Cinematic Anarchy. And today on our podcast, we're going to be discussing 2011's Sucker Punch, a feature film directed by Zack Snyder, starring Emily Browning, Abby Cornish, Vanessa Hudgens, Jenna Malone, Jamie Chung, Oscar Isaac, and, of course, Carla Gugino. I mispronounce her last name.
Carla Gugino.
And after that long, breathy thing there, we'll go ahead and introduce my partners in crime. We have Miss B.
Hello.
And Mr. Maestro himself, Oscar. I was going to call you Oscar. Omar.
Oscar the Grouch.
And we'll just go right at it. Just start swinging out of the park here. What are your thoughts of the movies? The movie.
Great.
I watched.
This is a good fucking movie. There's not really much else.
Well, I mean, if it's a great movie, you should have plenty to talk about. We should have plenty to say about it.
No, it's a great movie. I enjoyed there's a lot of symbology with the movie going on. I enjoyed that. Basically, what we were talking about earlier before we started about the whole thing, how she was dissociating all the traumatic events in her life, and she turned her dance into imagining that she was fighting, but the dancing and everything itself was her imagination too.
Her dancing was essentially a fight for her life.
Exactly.
And
so they were running a brothel out of their psych ward.
Essentially. Well, I think that was part of the figment. I think,
No, because at the very end, when it comes back to reality after she gets lobotomized, the Vera is talking about how, all the shit that she did that week that she was there.
Oh!
How she set a fire, she stabbed an orderly,
No, that was true.
A couple of the girls died. All of that actually happened.
Yeah, I think the whole brother thing had to do with the fact that the guy was raping the girls. And, the janitors and guys who ran the thing, that worked at the thing, they were raping these girls and torturing them.
At the very end, he's, the dude gets fucking arrested because he's got this girl baby doll, right after she gets lobotomized. He fucking has security guys bring her up into, an abandoned section of the psych to take advantage of her and fucking run a train.
So I think, what the whole thing was that the brothel part I don't think actually happened. I think that was part of the fantasy, or not the fantasy, but the escapism from what was actually going on there. I think that
me too. That's what I was thinking.
Was pretty much the lot of the guys that ran the place were sexually abusing these girls that were basically in a mental institution for people that were not all there.
But remember, back in the, those days, women were getting sent to fucking psych wards for nothing. For no fucking reason. They weren't mentally impaired.
No, I mean, a lot of these
They
women
wanted basic human rights.
Another thing, I think it was dissociation because on the part that was a psych thing, it was her stepfather. But on the part that was the brothel, this guy was a priest, the same guy.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think, what you were looking at was essentially a psych ward, through and through. A lot of the stuff, there was definitely a stage there. I think that Carla, sorry, my apologies. I can't pronounce her last name. Gugino, Dr. Vera, was in charge of activities, basically keeping the girls in check, making sure that they were taken care of, kept on their meds. Because as you know, once you get into one of those wards, for the most part, they try to keep you on your meds to keep you under control.
I know. Been there.
And it looks like this guy, Blue, was making a habit out of signing off on lobotomies for these young ladies. So he was
forging Vera's signature.
Forging Vera's signature. So these girls are getting lobotomized because he wants to continue to be able to use them without their protest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of heavy, it wasn't even undertones, heavy overtones of sexual abuse and creating fantasies to sort of escape what is their dismal reality.
Also, can we talk about how fucking creepy the outfits for the girls were the entire time? Like, most Baby Doll's supposed to be what, like 16, 17, and fucking you're getting fucking like crotch shots and shit?
Yeah, so like I said, they went to the extreme fantasy area. So it went from one escapist fantasy, and then it was an even further escapist fantasy within a fantasy.
Yeah.
So she was already fantasizing some sort of brothel environment, and then she had to escape even further when she went into the dancing. And their outfits in general, they weren't really that bad in the hospital itself, or the initial fantasy, but once you got to the dancing fantasy...
I mean, I'm not talking about how, like, it was meant to be super rapey. I'm talking about, like, the director deciding to put really young girls in super rapey outfits.
Okay, I mean, I could...
Like, he could have given her some fucking leggings.
He could have... Well, as opposed to the knee-high stockings.
How practical is that in a fight? It's not.
I don't think any of the outfits that they wore were practical in a fight. Period.
No women's outfits are practical in any of these video game scenarios.
No. And I mean, mind you, I mean, really what you're looking at is male fantasy in movie form. So I think...
It's always male fantasies.
Well, the movie, I mean, the reason the outfits worked in the movie is because of what the movie was about. It was the over-sexualization and the physical abuse of women. So, I mean, even in the outfits that they chose for the movie, it says something about how men perceive women.
Yeah.
Or what they want to perceive them as. And that even in her fantasy, her cockeyed view of what they're wearing is still sort of a male fantasy projection. And I realized, actually, I gotta do something about my vocal tone while I'm speaking with you guys, because I realized that you guys are on video, and I find myself overly projecting to be heard, whereas you can hear me fine when I talk like this, right?
Yeah.
Right. So I don't need to practically scream everything that I say.
No,
I can
you don't.
tone myself down a little bit. But yeah, that's through and through. I think that it was actually the outfits in the movie were very appropriate for what they were trying to convey, which is basically that almost every man in this movie was perceived them as a sexual object and a rapist. You know, they were perceived as objects throughout the entire movie. And this was an entire movie about them fighting to escape that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, honestly, kudos to Zack Snyder. I think the extended cut of the movie actually did the movie a little better justice. It resequenced a few things, added a few things in that helped explain what he was trying to go for a little bit better. I think that... Do you watch a lot of Zack Snyder stuff?
I don't think so.
Okay, I think that there's a theme with a lot of Zack Snyder's movies. Like, he gets a hold of a movie, and immediately there's almost always an uproar because they cut the movie down, and whoever releases the movie in post-production, they cut it down to kind of fit what they want for the theatrical release, and there's almost always the original cut as he intended to have it. Like, they're fighting right now for there to be a release of the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League, because they're saying it was supposed to be a better movie the way that he originally intended it.
Yeah.
Because even I'll admit, some of this was a little bit confusing when I first watched this movie. I had to watch it a couple of times to get a few of the sort of hidden elements of the movie.
I had to rewind a couple of times to get to the part, like Nico said, and I agree with Nico because of that. Because there was things that didn't match, like the whole dissociation within the dissociation part. And I agree with it because I went back a couple of times and said, wait, now it's a priest bringing her to a brothel? Before, this same guy was the stepdad, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there I figured the whole brothel was a dissociation, basically that she's probably correlating with the fact that they were getting probably sexually abused by the guys that worked at the place.
Yeah, definitely. It was,
So the symbolism and all the messages within the messages there was crazy.
I liked that these things were essentially, even in her deeper fantasies, the four elements that she needed to get were essentially the ultimate weapons in each particular fantasy. All of which sort of had sort of I want to say a steampunk feel to it.
Yeah.
The bomb, codename Operation Kitchen Knife.
It was a bomb called Kitchen Knife. That's
yeah. And that was to relate it with the scene that they were getting the kitchen knife, and then the death of the little girl. She related it to the fact that the little girl got electrocuted. Oh, no, I'm sorry, stabbed by the cook, and what have you, trying to steal the knife from him. So all of these things were part of it.
Like, they coincide with what's happening in real time.
Yeah.
Right. And I honestly, the Rocket's death kind of fucking killed me. Like, it was like she sacrificed herself for the group, sacrificed herself for her sister, and it's like you end up with one or two people by the end of the movie surviving of the group of girls.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Rocket was my favorite character.
One of which got the manual version of the Men in Black erasing your memory thing.
We're sitting here watching Miss B peel her face off.
Yep.
Gotta
Venom.
You gotta do your facial stuff whenever you have to, I guess.
Yeah. Self-care and bullshit, and oh my god, I should have shaved off my peach fuzz.
Yeah?
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, it's pulling every baby hair.
Well, so it's like a good waxing on the top of it.
Yeah.
I've got a foot mask that I ordered that my oldest, a couple of days ago, she put them on herself, and what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to be like a chemical peel for your feet.
Yeah, I got some. Well, I didn't get some. My boyfriend's sister gave them to me, and I didn't use them on myself. I used them on my boyfriend because his feet are fucked up.
Right.
He does man's work all day, every day.
Well, in all honesty, like I bought them, and then I saw what happened to her feet. After, like, large chunks of skin were coming off, like she had sunburnt the fuck out of her feet.
Oh, motherfucker!
I'm taking that to pretty.
Oh yeah, no. Chemical peels are no fucking joke. Like, that shit. Sometimes it'll take like a week, especially on your face. Fucking like, it looks so bad for very little results.
Okay.
Like the process of chemical peels, especially for like a facial.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So you feel like it's not enough to really be worth it?
It chemically burns off the first couple of layers of skin, and it's supposed to like be rejuvenating, and it makes you glow and all that pretty shit, and really it doesn't make that big of a difference.
Okay. So now I'm wondering if I should even fucking do it.
Well, no, I mean, the foot masks, I'm sure they're fine, and I'm pretty sure that if you use, hang on, I got one of these foot scrubby things. It's like a pumice stone and a cheese grater in one.
Okay.
Or you should get one at like CVS. Hold up.
We're trading beauty secrets.
This thing.
What on earth is that?
It's a pumice stone, a scrubby, a file, and a cheese grater.
Cheese grater, yep.
It's supposed to cheese grate all the fucking dead skin off your foot.
I don't know if I want to use a cheese grater on myself.
I've used it on Fredo, and it works pretty well.
No, notice how she didn't admit to using it on herself. She's like, I used it on Fredo. I ain't doing it to me.
My feet are like hypersensitive, and I'll sit there fucking like cackling.
It's like, I'm not going to use that shit on myself, but the boy over here will do that. Come here, Fredo.
I can't even touch my own feet, bro. Like, I'm so ticklish. It's disgusting.
Well, what I like for my feet, it's I guess it's kind of old school. It's not that big of a deal, but I like how it works. It's this thing.
Okay.
And I like how it feels when I put it on, and I guess they feel kind of less fucked up than they normally are.
Yeah. Burt's Bees is great.
I like Burt's Bees stuff.
Very natural. Very natural. I actually kind of like Burt's Bees. I haven't gotten the opportunity to use a lot of it because I just don't have the money. Can be a little pricey.
This was like $350, I believe. Something like that. I don't even remember where I bought it. But like $350, I think.
Okay.
So I don't wear it all the time. I guess like twice a week or so.
I'm going to mention a couple of extra things about the movie that I had been reading, just because I figure we can just tie up the front end of the podcast doing this. Okay. So, there was originally a scene between the High Roller, played by John Hamm, and Baby Doll, where he seduces and makes love to her. The MPAA demanded it be cut down, and the scene ended up looking like he was taking advantage of her, not seducing her. Zack Snyder felt it sent the wrong message and ultimately cut the scene entirely, later featuring it in its full form on the director's cut release. Zack Snyder and Emily Browning have been vocal about their displeasure about the situation of them trying to cut down that scene. Emily Browning also sang 3 songs featured in the film. She sang Sweet Dreams Are Made of These in the beginning of the film.
I fucking loved that version. Just saying.
She sang Asleep. And she also was featured on the Where Is My Mind track by Yoav.
Word.
That Sweet Dreams is, to me, my favorite versions, second only to the original.
I kind of like Marilyn Manson's version of it.
It's not bad, but this one's better.
I'm fond of Marilyn Manson.
It's a hard tie between the two for me.
I like this one better.
But not for nothing, you can't beat the original. That's as far as I'm concerned. I love Annie Lennox.
Annie Lennox, basically, I feel she learned to sing that song.
She's a fucking icon for a reason.
Oh, that voice is incredible.
Okay, last couple of little things here. As you might have noticed, despite playing the lead character, Emily Browning does not have a single line of dialogue till about 18 minutes into the film. Doesn't speak at all till 18 minutes into the film. And she really doesn't talk all that much in the original cut of the movie. In the director's cut of the film, she has a lot more to say. She talks quite a bit more.
Who was this one? Who's that one?
Emily Brown, Baby Doll.
Baby Doll.
Okay.
Several members of the cast and crew have described this film as One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest meets The Matrix.
Yeah, I see it, but
have you seen one?
To me, it was more like
it's more like Burlesque meets Scott Pilgrim.
I think it's more like Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest meets Chicago.
Burlesque meets Scott Pilgrim as a male rape fantasy, is what it is, basically.
I mean, Scott did date a 17-year-old when he was, fucking 23?
Yeah.
I would say Chicago meets Scott Pilgrim.
Let's see. Each of the lead girls had to undergo strict physical training, which involved doing deadlifts of 96 kilograms several months before shooting. Vanessa Hudgens called that period tormenting, and she broke down several times. In scene where she can be seen crying, she actually brought out those moments into the sessions. So, and can I just say, I don't like Vanessa Hudgens as an actress, but they made her look like a badass in this movie.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of her either, and my boyfriend likes her because he's a fucking stupid head.
I never cared for her.
This is probably
my boyfriend likes her, and I'm over here like, ha, your bitch is a fucking snitch, and she got her face shot in. What's good?
Personally, I really don't like her as an actress. This is probably the only movie that I like her in, and that's because, honestly, very few lines of dialogue for her. She doesn't get to talk.
That's probably, yeah. I really don't like her.
It's like, just be quiet and shoot the gun. Do your thing there. Be the badass. You can be mute. I don't care. Be mute.
A mute badass.
Emily Browning, before this film, actually claimed she had been seriously considering giving up acting, but working with Zack Snyder convinced her to stick with it. And
what was that movie? The Uninvited. I loved her in The Uninvited. She does a really good job at playing, like, the innocent psycho bitch.
I actually just picked that up on Vudu. They were selling it for $5. I was like, yep, I'll pick it up. Why not? Can't hurt.
Yeah, it's a good movie. You haven't watched it yet?
I have not, honestly.
Okay.
How much have I been watching lately? Somebody mentions a movie to me, I will go ahead and pop it on.
I've seen bits and pieces.
But I have not watched the movie, unfortunately.
I've seen bits and pieces, and she's not a bad actress at all. I like her.
Yeah.
The only one, really, in the whole movie that I think they could have made a better choice was Vanessa Hudgens.
Agreed.
I mean, they could have, but in all honesty, I think they did a decent job with the cast they had. And this role was supposed to sort of be her breakout. She wanted to kind of break out of the role that she was known for in High School Musical, stop being cast in, kiddie shit, and I mean, she got cast in some more serious roles after this.
But you gotta understand, you see how she wanted to break out of those roles of the whatever, and her character ended up being what would end up happening to her characters in other movies in an environment like this.
Oh, you know, we're spending all this time talking about, like, the people in this movie, and there's one guy that I forgot was in this movie that was, honestly, I appreciated his role, Scott Glenn. The guy that was basically the mentor to the girls throughout the entire movie.
Yeah, I love him.
Fuck yeah.
He kind of played the Morpheus role in this movie.
Yeah, pretty much. He was their mentor, their commanding officer, and then ended up being the guy who drove the bus.
Did he have a place in real life, though? Like, was this just like a fantasy through and through, or was there, like, a legitimate physical presence in real life?
No, I'm pretty sure that he was just like her conscience.
No, at the end of the movie, he had a presence in real life.
Oh, he did?
When he picked up the bus driver, when he picked up the girl that escaped.
Oh, that's right.
Now, he told the police, I've been carrying this girl since Hartford. There's nothing going on in this town that she could know about.
So, 3 things.
The real MVP.
There were 3 different actors.
He came in with the assist there.
So the original cast for this movie was going to be very, very different. Originally, they wanted Amanda Seyfried for Baby Doll. I could see that. They wanted Angelina Jolie for Dr. Vera.
Ew, no.
Evan Rachel Wood was the first choice for Rocket, but Jenna Malone replaced her.
I even like Becky Bundy for Dr. Vera, but not that one, no.
And
not Angelina, no.
Before Jamie Chung got the role, Emma Stone was considered for the role of Amber. So can you imagine?
I would have liked to see that.
That would have been bad.
I think this movie would have been different. Very, very different with all of them kind of... I'm trying to imagine it. Especially Angelina Jolie.
I like Peggy Bundy for the role of the Doctor. Not as much as I like Carla Gugino. She did a great job, but Angelina Jolie, I don't think so. Who would you guys like for the role of whatever Vanessa Hudgens played? What was the name?
Vanessa Hudgens' role. Oh God, what was her name?
See, that type of thing.
That's the problem. That's the reason why she really...
I literally just watched the fucking movie, too. Like,
she was a brunette named Blondie.
Blondie.
Yeah, Blondie.
Blondie, for no reason that I can think of.
So, do you see how it was such a paradoxic name? Under any other circumstances, because she was a brunette, it would have been so hard to forget. But then again, I guess we forgot it because she's just... I don't know.
I don't think she sold it enough. I mean, they made her look like a badass, but I think that was just the women she was surrounded with. You know?
Yeah.
Everybody else did their jobs. I really think, like, her role was fairly forgettable.
She has no bat and no ass.
She got shot in the face.
Shot in the face, yeah. She
after snitching.
She took a bullet well. I guess. That's a harsh thing to say.
Jack Nicholson will say she felt funny.
I honestly can't think of a decent person that could have slipped into the role at the time, though. This is 2011.
At the time?
Who was coming into their own around 2011?
You guys are the experts on young actors.
I mean, honestly, slip Emma Stone into that role.
Yeah.
I would have liked the way better.
Emma Stone was just starting out back then. You could have slipped her into the role. Would have been fine. She still would have been a redhead called Blondie. I mean...
No, I heard black.
Emma Stone's
been blonde before.
Emma Stone with black hair? That would have been weird.
No.
No?
It's all on the way you style it at the end. Like, you do it and then you style it in a way that makes it look good.
I don't know. Honestly, black hair on a person who originally was a redhead, it kind of washes them out a little bit.
Nah, I think she could pull it off.
All right. I think her skin's a little too fair for it. Her face has a little
darkness to it. I think she could pull it off.
Hey, you say dark, I say fair. You know? I don't know. All in all, though, I think the cast they had worked for what they had, and if it was any other director but Zack Snyder, I don't think this would have worked quite as well. Maybe James Gunn could have pulled it off.
Yeah.
I could possibly see this kind of idea. I could have seen, his name? Joss Whedon? Might have been a Buffy fame. He could have pulled it off.
Yeah.
You don't get a Kevin Smith for anything like this. Some of the other action folks probably would have gone way, way over the top with it and would have made it a little bit more than it is, or more than it should have been.
True story.
I was worried I mean, I guess I was worried that this was going to be a shitty movie, because when I went to go see it the first time, I believe one of my friends had seen it first, and I can't remember exactly who it was. But they came back telling me this movie, that the only reason why this movie was named Sucker Punch is because you paid to go see it, and it was like getting punched in the gut. Fuck, I lost $10.
That's crazy. It wasn't bad. I liked it.
It's a good movie.
I would like to think of a sequel for it.
Well, I could name a lot of, for lack of better ways to say it, a lot of self-serving assholes who didn't appreciate this movie because it made pretty much every man in this movie, outside of Scott Glenn, look like a sexually sadistic asshole.
Yeah.
And, let's be honest. There's a reason why we're in the Me Too era right now. It's because there's a vast majority of guys that sexually went unchecked because a lot of women were too afraid to speak out.
Yeah.
And,
you got a whole generation, a whole few generations of men who have been raised and groomed to think that everything can be and is supposed to be their property, including other people.
Well, I think that's kind of where we've gone cinematically. You've noticed that in the past decade, they've changed their tunes as to how they portray, and it's really just the past decade, as to how they portray women in movies. That women were fed up as being portrayed as the damsel in fucking distress, and it was time to make them the heroes of their own damn stories.
Well, and also the fact that they almost always, in any movie that you see, basically before, I don't know, you name it, the woman falls in love with their savior. They put you in this position of sending the message that you gave me a hand and I'm supposed to put out.
Don't even fucking get me started on that.
Always got to be the Disney princess theory.
You've seen it, right?
It's in every fucking movie. Like, basically. Every movie up until, like, mid-2000s is just damsels in fucking distress. And it's so goddamn annoying.
It's one of the reasons I love this movie, is because there was no fucking prince. Nobody's there to fucking save them. It's fight for yourself and get your shit together and get out of basically get away from these fucking rapist assholes.
Yeah.
They don't have to depend on some guy to fucking save them. They depended upon themselves, and they depended upon, well, I guess in this case, their sisters in distress.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, the movie actually portrayed a lot of the director's cut of this movie actually portrayed a lot of these scenes very differently. I do recommend, seeing as you've all seen this movie, spend the $4 on Vudu and go rent it. It really is worth seeing, because Zack Snyder's original vision for the movie, and yes, they do have that one fucking, oh my god, this is the one thing, it was so cringeworthy watching John Hamm as the high roller trying to seduce Baby Doll. It was so cringeworthy watching that. And,
I can imagine.
I mean, it still made him very predatory. It made him look very predatory, because he was trying to do sort of the Richard Gere, the whole Richard Gere, I'm going to save you from this whole thing by basically making you mine. You know, the Pretty Woman thing. And mind you, honestly, she didn't buy it. You know, everything ended up how it was. She ended up saving the one girl in the end, and of course, you know, she ended up getting lobotomized, but almost all the stuff at the end tied right back together with the original movie. It was just a few things that they took just a little bit further, things that were cut out by the MPAA, or they were asked to tone down a little bit, or scenes that got dropped here or there that actually added to this movie. And there were a lot more musical scenes cut into the movie originally.
Yeah.
And actually you got to see that each girl physically had their own persona on the burlesque stage. including what's her name? Oh God, Rocket's sister, Sweet Pea, who played sort of the savior figure, sort of the Christ figure on stage. That was her. They had all sorts of weird sexual fantasies that were portrayed out on stage. You'd enjoy it. I'm just vouching for the movie. I liked it just as much as I liked the original.
Okay.
You can, and honestly, you guys can say, "Hey, Chris, you're rambling. Shh, calm down, calm down, because I was rambling for a minute there.
Hey, man, it's all good.
I'm getting fucking stir crazy. Crazy.
I feel you.
I've been staring at these walls way too much. I need to get out and get some sunshine. I got a few porches. Few porches for my back chairs. Few chairs for my back porch.
That makes sense.
Because I want to sit out on the porch a little bit, and I don't have to talk to people out there. So we're going to go ahead and... do you have anything else to say about the movie? Anything else you disliked or liked that you'd like to mention?
No, not really.
I love
overall. Good movie.
Good movie.
Yeah, I love it.
It's another one of those films that didn't get a fair shot. Honestly, it's got a 22% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes.
Rotten 2 Tomatoes. Okay.
2 Rotten Tomatoes. 22% on Rotten Tomatoes. It was not that well received. It's got a better rating on IMDb. It's got a 6 out of 10, which I feel is a little bit more fair.
Yeah. I mean, people aren't all that crazy about CGI anymore.
They're not all that crazy about CGI. I also think that what you have, especially with like a Rotten Tomatoes kind of situation where it's sort of a mashup between the critics and the audience score sometimes. What you end up with is a lot of misogynistic assholes who didn't like the film for the theme.
Yeah.
You know? And so they don't appreciate the theme. They don't appreciate the fact that all the men in the movie were portrayed as viciously sexist assholes. And by the way, it took me a minute to realize that Poe was in this movie.
Oh.
I didn't realize who that was. I'm trying to place Blue in my mind the entire movie. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? I know who this is. And then I went into IMDb and I brought him up, and it's like, oh, he's the guy that played Poe in like the last like 3, maybe 4 Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Didn't fucking know that. It ran right over my head till I finished watching the movie. I'm like, I know this fucking dude from somewhere. There he is. And I got it playing in the background, too. I'm watching him basically shoot these girls in the head. Vicious fucker in this movie, let me tell you. Anyhow, we're going to go ahead and tie this part of the podcast up. And we're going to go on to our sponsorships. And when we come back, we're going to be playing a little game called Trial by Trolley. And, of course, I say play it. But when it comes right down to it, we do what we want with the games as we see them. There's definitely different ways to play this game, but I'm going to go ahead and just pose some moral quandaries to my folks here and see what they think. We'll be back. All right, thank you for sticking around through our sponsors once again. We always thank you because, in all honesty, nobody likes fucking commercials, but it's what makes things run, unfortunately. The money that you make from commercials kind of make things run. You know?
Yeah.
You gotta love the sponsors. They're necessary evil sometimes. Necessary evil. And that way you don't have to beg your fans for money sometimes. Well, I'd like to beg them. I need to beg them. We need more money.
I'm out of my money begging days.
No? Well, you can always just sort of like put the button right there and you go, look, press the button, don't press the button, donate, don't donate. it's all right. You don't have to. We could use it, but you don't have to. You know? So, kind of, beg sneaky. All right, so we're
don't do it the way I did, holding a sign that said "Traveling Broke Hungry Folk."
No, we actually did it holding a sign and selling jewelry at one point down in Athens, Georgia. We sold a lot of jewelry during the Bulldog games, and guess who sold the most jewelry?
You.
Not me. Wasn't me. Nobody's buying jewelry from a weird white fat guy. No, cute kids. They can sell anything.
Yeah. Obviously, kids.
Please buy my jewelry, sir. Come on. You know you want this hemp bracelet looking thing. It's flimsy, but I made it myself. Give me $5. No? Yeah?
Yeah, I see it happening.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll start. We're going to play a game here called Trial by Trolley, made by the Cyanide and Happiness folks. And you seem confused, Miss B.
I thought I got different Dutches.
No?
Nope. I guess these are games. I thought I got Dutch Masters.
Okay, and you got the wrong one?
I'm very confused. Hang on, let me see my second pack.
Okay.
Nope, I'm just an idiot.
You just bought the wrong ones.
I got the wrong ones.
Okay. So, we're going to go ahead and start off. This is a moral quandary. You are the driver of a trolley, and you need to choose. You have a switch on the track, and when the track goes down to the left or goes down to the right, and you need to choose who is going to die and who you're going to save.
All right.
And to start this off with a bang, you're in the trolley, and on the left-hand track, it is a theme park full of children. And on the right-hand track, it is an external hard drive with 3 billion Bitcoin on it that can be yours only if it isn't hit by a trolley. That doesn't seem like a terribly hard moral quandary.
I
don't want to be that guy, but man, fuck them kids.
The only choice of death is death by trolley?
Right. It's death by trolley, one way or the other. Yeah, basically, you're a trolley driver. You get to choose who dies and who lives. And in this case, it's a theme park full of kids, or 3 billion Bitcoin on a hard drive that can be all yours if it is not hit by a trolley.
Wait, hold on. Are we held accountable or responsible for the trolley crash?
Well, obviously, it's a life or death decision.
Are we going to go to jail?
Well, I don't think that's part of this particular moral quandary here. We're not considering the consequences of, like, hey, you know, if I throw this switch, we're going to just...
Well, because, hey, man, if I say fuck them kids, and I end up going to jail and not being able to spend my 3 billion Bitcoin, then what the fuck is the point?
Right, but if we take imagine that you don't get any consequences. No consequences other than the fact that this person is taken out of existence. Okay. Okay, so fuck the kids. For you. How about you, Mr. Omar? You don't know?
I'm still trying to wrap my head around the idea of kids dying by trolley.
I mean, I say fuck them kids, but, like, deep down, if I was actually in that situation, I wouldn't let children die.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I'm thinking, though...
It's very tempting.
My thought process here is an entire theme park full of children, right? Why is the entire theme park full of children playing on the trolley tracks?
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, that's natural selection at that point.
Yeah.
Your parents didn't teach you how to not play on the trolley tracks. Your
parents didn't teach you... Speaking of, where the fuck are the parents? If they're all about to fucking die, like... Are none of these kids being supervised?
Right.
Nope.
Thump, thump, I'm a Bitcoin billionaire, and I'll give some money to the parents. I'm sorry. Here you go. I'm a billionaire now.
Who are the parents? Are the parents part of the KKK? Because fuck them kids.
You don't know who their parents are. It seems to be a nice mixture of children. You know, there's an ethnically diverse amount of children on the tracks there. You know, I'm showing you the card right now. If you guys can see that, see.
Yeah.
So, I see it.
I'm saying, like, there's a good shot that, like, one or two of these kids could have, like, KKK family members. The rest of them, probably not. So,
not so much.
It sounds like... Omar, how are you feeling about it?
It's cyanide and happiness. Fuck them kids.
All right. Sounds good. It sounds like we're running over the kids. It's at least two people are like, yeah, we'll pay the parents.
If you're playing on some trolley tracks, you bound to run over. At that point,
I'm gonna be battling some internal demons after killing a bunch of kids, but I'll have the money for therapy, so whatever.
All right. So, we're going to move on to the next set of cards. The next set of cards are... we losing Mr. Omar here? He's having a secondary conversation with the woman behind the scenes. Yes?
Okay. Yes. I'm sorry.
Secondary set of cards. Okay, I got a couple of really good ones here, too. So, you need to choose. On the right-hand track is the guy who keeps deciding we need another Fast and Furious movie. Or...
Wait, what?
So on the right-hand track, it's the guy who keeps deciding we need to have another Fast and Furious movie.
Fuck that guy.
Or on the left-hand track, a vicious, poop-throwing monkey.
Obviously the guy who keeps making fucking Fast and Furious movies.
Definitely. And whoever told Stallone it was a good idea to make Rambo Last Blood.
I think that after the last Rambo movie, the last Rambo movie shouldn't have even existed. You know?
Yeah.
You hit
Don't tell Fredo that.
Oh. I don't know what...
Oh, no, it's not Rambo, it's Rocky that he loves.
I didn't mind Rocky. I didn't mind the Creed movies. I didn't mind the Rocky Balboa movie. I think those... I'm glad that he passed off the Rocky persona, and he's playing the coach now, basically.
The Rocky baton, yeah.
Right? He's playing the Burgess Meredith role.
Yeah.
However, there's no reason why a man of his age should be doing the action star thing at this point. There's going to be another Expendables
he wants
movie.
To prove that he still can.
There's another Expendables movie in the works.
Why? They're all in their 70s.
Exactly. That's why.
What? The Expendables 1 and 2, that was fine, like, as is. Like, we don't need more than that.
There's 3.
3? Sorry, what?
Yes, there's a 3rd. They're making a 4th.
Remember that movie that they made that there were a whole bunch of retired operatives?
Are elders.
Was it Red?
These are old men. There is zero reason for them to be doing all these action scenes and stunts and shit. And the fucking... Even though they have fucking, like, stunt doubles and shit?
Nothing says middle-age crisis like those joints.
Oh my god!
It's cinematic Viagra.
Yep.
Cinematic Viagra. That's what it is. It's old men wanting to pretend to still be virile men. That's what it is. Stoke your own ego. I was an action star. No, I am still an action star. Give me my walker. I'm out of here. Okay. Anyway. So the next set, this is a tough one. I thought this was a tough one, all right?
Okay.
On the right-hand track, you have a recently bereaved and now single father of 3. Or, on the left-hand track, an aging couple still madly in love.
Save the father of 3. The fuck?
At least the elderly couple gets to die together.
Right?
Those 3 kids might end up in jail if that guy dies.
That's very true. I mean, I would save the father over the old couple only because they've had the chance to live their lives, and why would I deny, kids their father for a good portion of their lives?
Even though just a couple of minutes ago I was saying fuck them kids.
Right?
As long as we're not killing the old people to save the economy, I mean...
Well, you're saying fuck them kids, the kids that were playing on the train track, We're not saying fuck the kids whose father is currently on the train track. No?
Yeah.
Maybe this is where his wife died. We killed her in another scenario somewhere. I don't know.
Probably.
In another part of the movie. Another disassociation fantasy.
Yeah.
So save the single daddy and to hell with the loving old people. Here's a twist. Now the father is equally sad. That was his parents. No?
You have a mean imagination, sir.
I'm a horrible person. Horrible. Very mean. All right, it was a family outing. The grandparents are like, we're still in love. We may have lost our daughter-in-law, but we're still in love. And look at our son. He's over there. He's grieving, and he's so sad. And the children are behind him crying. And, there's a trolley. We're dead.
Here, trolley.
So,
what's the next one?
On the left-hand track, we have the evil spirit responsible for all your bad luck. Or, on the right-hand track, we have some guy mugging your friend.
Well, first of all, I want to have a fucking conversation with that spirit.
Right.
Yeah, kill the guy mugging my friend. Me and that spirit need to talk.
Yeah, right?
I say kill the guy mugging your friend basically because this is a spirit. You can send the trolley down the fucking track, but it's going to go through it.
Exactly.
You know, this is not something that's going to get run over. We're going to go through the damn spirit, and you're still going to have bad luck.
Spirit trolley.
Huh?
Spirited Away totally fucking exists.
Spirit trolley, or if you want to go the route of the Polar Express.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
Spirit trolley.
But yeah, no. Fucking, I think that one's like,
Yeah.
unspoken, obviously.
I want to fight the spirit
An
at
obvious
least.
answer.
I want a chance for a couple of rounds with the spirit.
Yeah, right? Like, I want to have a fucking conversation with this guy.
Right.
And we may not my and mine may not converse.
I'm going to save my friend, but I still want to stop
Molly
the trolley
spirit.
and walk over to the other track and have a conversation. Like, what the fuck are you... I saved you. You mind cutting it the fuck out now? You mind... Are you
Right.
done? All right, I killed this guy. I saved your ass. Just go away. Leave me.
The spirit might argue that killing the guy that was mugging my friend was an easy choice.
Possibly. All right, next set. We have, on the right track, an insufferable 19-year-old Bitcoin billionaire. Or, on the left-hand track, a pack of alt-right velociraptors.
Oh, come on!
That's easy.
That's easy?
Nothing worse than somebody that's young and rich and dumb.
So you're going to kill the 19-year-old Bitcoin billionaire.
Yeah,
Over Nazi velociraptors.
Yeah, fuck that billionaire.
How did you know?
The Raptors will find a way.
How did you know? Legitimately, they are wearing Nazi uniforms.
That's because that's what the alt-right is. They're fucking Nazis.
That's what they are. And they're fossils.
I find it hard to figure out who the lesser of two evils are here because I feel like they're almost one and the same. I feel like the 19-year-old Bitcoin billionaire funds the alt-right velociraptors.
I feel like the alt-right velociraptors is run by Ben Shapiro.
Ben Shapiro? I think I'm going to take down the insufferable 19-year-old Bitcoin billionaire. Add to that last thing where we said fuck the kids.
It's true.
Hopefully.
Yeah, fuck that kid. Eat the rich.
Yeah, he's rich.
Okay. Next round.
His hat is fun.
So, on the right-hand track, we have a team of young girl superheroes fighting to make the world a better place.
Okay.
Or, on the left-hand track, we have a friendly genie who will grant you 3 wishes if they aren't hit by a trolley.
Fuck them bitches. Get the genie. The fuck?
Yeah, the genie, and we just pass the genie around.
So, down with the Powerpuff Girls. We're going to save the genie?
Hells yeah.
It's 9 wishes between the 3 of us, man.
Are you kidding me? I can just wish those bitches back to life.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm entirely honest, though, they're a team of young girl superheroes. So, who's to say if we run them down with the trolley, they aren't going to survive the impact? You know?
The superheroes.
Who's to say if we hit them with a trolley, our little game might be over? Okay.
Probably that'll ruin the game.
Fritter says, Genie rules. You can't wish someone back to life.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah, that will be a problem.
You can't.
I don't know. Jafar turned into a fucking genie.
It's true.
And the only reason fucking Genie didn't want to bring people back to life was because it was gross and he made him uncomfortable.
Yeah, he felt icky about it.
Okay. We got 2 more sets here. Number 1. And this is from the world of T2, I believe, the Terminator. On the right-hand track, we have the artificial intelligence that will one day enslave humanity. Or, on the left-hand side, we have a robot from the future sent to kill your mom.
Okay, so this is the plot of Terminator.
Essentially, basically. So it's an artificial intelligence that'll enslave the entirety of humanity, or do you destroy the robot from the future sent to kill your mom?
I mean, I love my mom, but I'm gonna save humanity.
Okay. I mean, this is sort of a moot point for me because, you know, my mom's already dead. Now, the question is, at what point in time does he come back? Like, am I already alive? Right? If we're talking like any time after 1985, my mother already had I'm getting real dark here. My mother already had cancer at that point, and things were winding. So at that point, I might say, you know, to hell with it. I'm gonna go ahead and destroy the intelligence that will one day enslave humanity. However, if we're talking before I exist, if like they're trying to kill my mom before I was born, kind of like what they did with John Connor, then yeah, I might go ahead and kill the robot from the future.
Yeah.
It's too bad we don't have Omar for this. It looks like he has gone off to handle something.
Hell yeah.
I'm sure. We're winding down anyway, and I've only got one more set of questions to ask.
Alrighty.
So, I was kind of hoping to get his opinion on that one, but you may have to just move on without him. What's so important you couldn't have waited 5 minutes, sir?
I don't know, maybe you had to take a shit.
Oh, I hope not. I mean, I hope if he did have to take a shit, he would walk off camera. Yeah, I mean, definitely hope he would, like, go someplace else.
Exactly.
You know, don't take us with you. We don't want to be on the pot with you. Okay.
There he is.
Hi, Mr. Up. We were just contemplating whether or not you had walked off to take a shit or, where you went. And, we can actually understand you a little bit better if you're not on mute. You know?
No, you said that you were wondering if I would actually want to take a shit. I said subtract one.
Subtract one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to take a shit. You want to leave the shit. You leave it back there.
No. But like I said, subtract one. I wasn't doing number 2.
Okay. So I'm gonna just me and Miss B have already come to a consensus on the last question. So I'm gonna ask you just to see what your opinion is. Right-hand track, the artificial intelligence that will one day enslave humanity, or the left-hand track, the robot from the future that is sent to kill your mom. Save humanity or save your mother? I got a lot of silence from Omar. He's like, I don't know.
Is your mother listening?
Why would the Republicans do?
That one's a tough one. I mean, I told Miss B, as far as I'm concerned, it depends upon when this robot is coming to kill my mother. You know?
Yeah.
If they're coming before I exist, before I come into the world, if that's the point to make me not exist, you know, because then I can't throw the switch and kill the robot that'll save humanity.
the robot that came to kill your mom is like, it's already here while you exist, so...
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to have been born. Or I could have gone back in time, much like the robot.
No, but I mean...
We're talking time-traveling robots. Who says I can't do it, too? You know?
That's what that's shit.
Come on, Omar. Who are you saving? Who are you saving?
I'm saving humanity. I'm sorry, Mom.
Okay.
I said that too.
There we go.
I mean, I didn't apologize, but...
No, I am sorry, but I am saving humanity.
I'm leaning towards saving humanity, too, to be honest. So... all right.
Sorry, because I'm sure my mom understands.
Yeah, sorry, Ma, but it's the
I'm
one
sure my mom won't.
I don't know that my mom would understand, but she'd forgive me for saving everyone.
Oh, I'm positive mine is not gonna understand.
My mother might just jump in front of that trolley to save humanity herself. Who knows?
Not mine. Yeah, fuck humanity.
Okay. So I got one last question for everybody to wind down the podcast for the day.
All right.
On the right-hand track, we have an intelligent talking dog. And on the left-hand track, a child's 5th birthday party.
Save the dog. The fuck? It talks.
Okay. So we're saving the dog over the child at its 5th birthday party.
It's a talking dog!
Right? I mean, you want to be a billionaire, you got a talking dog. That's a good way to get there.
Exactly.
I'm going to go against the grain. Fuck the dog, save the kids. I love my dog, but if it started talking to me...
A talking dog might scare me a little bit.
Because
man. I want my dog to talk to me. I want him to tell me what he's up to or what he wants to talk about or what he needs or some shit. Because I'm sick of the whole...
You would get bored of that in 5 seconds, and here's why. Because, yes, the idea of a talking dog would be fun for about a day. And then, the repetitive nature of what dogs are about would bother the fuck out of you, and you'd back that trolley up and run over the dog, too.
Nah, I feel like Owen would turn into a Brian Griffin.
I feel like my dog would just be that dog's outside, out, outside, out, go. Outside, out, food, out, food, gotta pee, gotta poo, out, food, drink, food. You know? I think that's what my dog would be. A little more
credit than that. If he's intelligent, then more is going through his mind than just out, food, treat, ball.
I believe my dog's intelligent. I just think that it would be repetitive. I mean, I wouldn't want a cat that's intelligent because it would be telling me to go fuck myself on a continual basis.
Yeah, but the card said intelligent talking dog. That thus means that the dog comprehends human ideologies.
Well, now here's the question. Are we saying that it is an intelligent talking dog as in it is an intelligent dog, or are we just talking about a dog that is intelligent enough to speak? See, that's a different question. So if it's a dog that's intelligent, like, Brian Griffin, that's one thing. However...
Brian pretends to be intelligent, by the way.
Pretends?
Pretends.
He says some dumbass shit.
Brian's a fucking drunk. But he's a drunk just like his baby. Well, not his baby, but his best baby buddy.
Yeah.
He's not a drunk.
However, if the dog is just the kind of dog that's intelligent enough to speak its mind, and that's it, like just speak what's on its mind, I really think that would be insanely annoying. Like, especially in my dog's case, who'll just randomly bark at anything,
Yeah.
So.
Look! Person! There's a person outside! Did you see the person? Oh my god!
Kill! Back off! Want to kill! Kill! Back off! I'm gonna bite you! Back off! I'm bigger than I am. I'm a lot bigger than I am.
I will fucking eat you!
The dog, a talking dog saying dog shit that a dog will say could be very annoying.
Back the fuck up or I'll chew on your kneecap. Something to that nature.
Yeah.
No, so that's the problem. You got to figure out what level of intelligence we're talking about. Because honestly, fuck the kid's 5th birthday party. If this is like a truly intelligent creature, you can sit here and hold conversations, so on and so forth. But if it's just the kind of thing that's intelligent enough to only relay what's going on in its mind at any given time, you're going to get a lot of just ball, play, food.
Yeah.
And at that point, that dog's going to be sitting in a shelter real quick. I'm not going to kill it.
Yeah.
But it'll be sitting in a shelter. Hey, somebody else can deal with that. This is like a fucking parrot on crack. I want that.
If the dog's in the shelter long enough, the shelter will kill it.
But at least I didn't do it. Somebody's ringing.
Not me.
Not you?
That's us.
That's Nokia. That's that Nokia tone. I recognize that. Or is that Nokia or Motorola?
That's his iPhone.
That's an iPhone phone.
Okay. I remember that being like a Nokia tone or something at one point.
Yeah.
I have no fucking clue. All right. I think we've wound down for today. We played enough, killed enough people by trolley. So,
when they wet me, I'm like, okay, and they just kind of closed, and it happened again. I'm like, oh, someone's trying to fuck with me.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a couple times.
Anyway.
That had nothing to do with what we're doing, so on behalf of myself and all the people we just killed by trolley, thank you very much for listening.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Thank you guys. Take care.
Yeah, you talk louder than whatever else is going on in the background.
Yeah, that's
it happens.
All right, and we'll see you later on in the week for Tea Time with Honey.
All right, sounds good.
All right, bye-bye.
We
Yeah,
shall
good.
reconvene.
All right,
Coming
bye-bye.
soon.
That was the lamest send-off ever. All right, yeah, bye-bye. Sorry. See you later.
Uh-huh.
Okay, not like this is much better. I'm just ranting to myself. Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.